I'm Sylvia from Noni New Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to do a Mr. Ted Cuddly. So get ready and I'll show you how to make it. First we have to get our fabrics ready, and all the measurements will be in the PDF file that is enclosed with the pattern. I chose this yellow with the green dots for the legs, and it's minky fabric, and yellow for the body. Also you need a small patch for the applique where we're going to write something on, and you can personalize this. And also you're going to need some water soluble if you're using minky for the body and for the ears. The stabilizer that you can use is, you can either use water soluble if you really want to, but it's not necessary. I think the best thing to use if you're using minky is the cutaway one, because it tends to move less. With minky fabric, the fabric is quite soft and I call it wobbly, and when you're doing the eyes it might move and the eyes won't come out quite as nicely. So if you use cutaway and water soluble on top, you should be alright. So we're going to start doing the ears now. I've placed my hoop in the machine, and the first thing it's going to do is an outline where we're going to put the fabric. So in this little box we're going to place our fabric, and also the water soluble if you're using minky. If you're using cotton and that, you won't need that. So it's done the outline now, and now it's going to do the little bit of embroidery on the ears. When you do the outline you can use the same color as the fabric, but I just did this so you can see it better. So now it's finished embroidering the inside of the ear, and we're going to remove the water soluble, and then we're going to put the top on. I've placed the top on, and make sure that you're putting the right sides facing together. And now we're going to do the final stitching. I'm going to do it in green so you can see it, but obviously you're going to use the color of your fabric. So that's all done, and the middle line is a guide for you where you can cut it, which I shall show you in a minute. So that's the ears done. I've taken the hoop out of the machine, and we're going to remove the stabilizer. So now we're going to cut along the edge, and you're going to do that about a quarter of an inch, or a bit less probably, just neatly around. Right, now this center line we're just going to cut right through, so that'll give you even ears. That's it. And you can remove the stabilizer if you want, or you can just leave it. Sometimes you have to cut it a bit more. you can open it. Okay, remove the stabilizer if you want. And then we're going to turn it inside out. I always use my wooden knitting needle. This one. And that's two. Okay, here's the ears, and you just put them aside. I've put the correct size hoop in the machine, and that's quite a large one. And all it's going to do now is the outline, where we're going to put the fabric. And next we're going to put the fabric right inside the line. As you can see, I've put the fabric inside the line. You put the two pieces together, right sides facing each other. So now it's going to stitch the legs one by one. So here we are, we've got two arms and two legs, and we're going to remove the hoop from the machine and take away the stabilizer. So what we need to do now is remove all the stabilizer and cut each leg out. So I've removed all the stabilizer, and now all you need to do is cut around, trim about a quarter or an eighth of an inch like this, all the way around for each one of them. Okay, all cut out, and now we're going to turn them inside out. And as you know, I like using these hemostats because it's nice and quick, because you can also push them out. Okay, we do that with all four of them, and then we're going to put it aside, and we're going to use that when we do the body. Right, we're going to do the body now, and the first thing is going to be the outline, where we're going to place the fabric. So that's the outline, and now we're going to place the fabric on top of that. Right, so what we're going to do is put the fabric for the body right side facing up, and make sure if you're using Minky the nap goes down. And I'm going to use some water soluble too. You can tape this down, but I hate using tape, so I use my fingers. Right, that's secured all that. I got it a bit bobbly, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do the eyes now. So that's the white of the eyes done, and now I'm gonna use blue, but you can give him whatever color eyes you like. So that's the blue of his eyes done, and now we're going to use black. So now he's got eyes and eyebrows. Now we're going to give him a little snout. This is the placement line for the snout. And I'm going to take the water soluble out where the fabric is going to go, but you leave the rest on. So this secures the snout. And now what we're going to do is trim right around the stitch line, close to the stitch line. I've trimmed it quite close. It's quite difficult with Minky, as you probably know. And now we're going to do the satin line around it. As you can see, I've put some more water soluble on it because it gives a nicer finish. Next, we're gonna do his nose. And we're also going to do a little highlight on top of his nose. This is going to be the placement line for the applique. And now we're going to place the applique fabric on top of that and secure it. I've placed the applique fabric on top, right side facing up over the placement line. And now it's going to do the tacking down. So now I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine and trim right closely to the stitch line. So I've trimmed neatly around the stitch line, and I'm going to put some water soluble on it to give it a neater finish, and it's going to do the decorative stitch now. So that's done the decorative line around it, and now we're going to do the text. And it's here where you can put your own text. You can put somebody's name or a different saying or whatever you like, okay? Next, okay, we're going to do the highlights in his eyes. This is going to be the placement line for the ear. So you place the ear over the placement line. You can tape it down if you like. It's probably safer. You won't get your fingers caught. I don't like doing it. And off you go. Just make sure the fabric is in there. Okay, that's one ear done. And this is for the right ear. Place the second ear over the placement line, and you kind of eyeball it to make sure they're sort of level. And that's the second ear. The limbs are next, so the placement line for that. Right, we place the arm now over the placement line and just tap it down. This is the placement line for one of his legs. tack that one down. Place the leg over the placement line and off you go. And now the placement line for the right arm. Place the arm over the placement line and tack it down. So you get a piece of masking tape. This is a tricky bit. And you're going to have to tuck the arms in. Like so. And you've got to make sure it's nowhere near the stitch line. Then we get the legs. And we tape them down. So you have to make sure it's not near the stitch line. Now we get the piece for the back, right side facing each other, and you place that on top. And if you want, you can pin it, or you can tape it, or you can hold it with your hands like I'm going to do. I've put my machine on slow so you can maneuver it a bit better. Right, so it's done all around, and we're going to remove it from the hoop and see what it looks like. I'm going to remove the stabilizer, and if you use cutaway, you have to obviously cut it around. So when you've removed most of the stabilizer, we're going to cut right around, leaving about 1/4 of an inch. And right here, we're going to leave a little bit more because we have to sew that up by hand. So I've cut all the way around, and now we're going to turn it inside out. It shouldn't be too difficult because I left quite a big gap. And you take the tape away, get his ears out. Here we look, isn't he cute? Undo the tape. And here he is, all ready to have his arms and legs knotted. So we're going to try do that now. So all you need to do now is tie a little knot. Whichever way you like, or you can do it at the bottom if you want, doesn't matter, you can leave them the way they are. And just play around with them. Okay, so I've knotted him. You just have to push it around. So now all you have to do is sew this little bit up by hand. And then it's all done. Isn't it cute? So here we are. I've stitched them all up on the side. He's all ready to be cuddled by a lovely little child. And he goes together with Mr. Ted, who I've made ages ago. And I've also made a rattle. And I'm going to do a video for that too, so you can see it. So here's the Mr. Ted family, a cuddly, a stuffy, and a rattle. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I look forward to seeing your creations. Till next time, bye!